The Disney-MGM Studios Backlot Tour. We're going to begin your tour right here at our special effects water tank. Now, water tanks just like this one continue to play a major role in action films. Here are the explosive, out-of-control mayhem that you may have seen in movies like Crimson Tide, The Rock, and Pearl Harbor can be created using large-scale physical and mechanical effects. The action is then filmed as a carefully planned sequence of events. Now, today we're going to shoot our own action sequence called Harbor Attack, using many of the same effects that directors like Michael Bay use in their films. In fact, if you'll turn your attention to your overhead monitor, here's Michael now to set the scene for us.
In this scene, a patrol boat is on a surveillance mission. Searching the skies for enemy aircraft, the crew is caught off guard when in real danger surfaces from beneath the sea. This is going to require a full range of physical effects, split-second timing, and careful direction. We have the lights, we have the cameras, all we need now is the action.
And if anyone knows serious action, monitor panels first wear in bulletin, which must be programmed in time to match the continuity of the visuals and eventually the pattern of the sound effects. And the last and probably the most important physical effect in a scene like this is fire, which must be ignited at a precise moment because it takes a lot of time and work in order to reset the charges for those explosions. Now, of course, our number one consideration in the timing of all these effects is always the safety of the actors on our set. And that's where you come in. Hi, what's your name? Perry? Everyone say hi, Perry. Hi, Perry. Now, Perry, you've been cast as the role of the mechanic on our PT boat. Your scene's going to take place over in the engine room, so if you'll follow Jim, we'll get you all set up. Now, today we're going to be filming two different scenes, but not in the order that they appear in the script. This is because many movie scenes are often filmed out of sequence, meaning that actors actually have to react to something before it's even been filmed. Now, this can be a real challenge, and that's why it's the director's job to give the actor their motivation. Okay, Terry, here's the setup. That phone next to you will buzz just before 800 gallons of water dump out of those tanks, fly through that chute, and then slam into you like a freight train. Yeah, so are you motivated to hang on? All right, good deal. Now, actually, it's more like 1,000 gallons, but you know, there's a really fine line between motivation and fear. Okay, Perry, here we go. Roll playback. Okay, now remember, you just lost your engine and action. Okay, look to your right and check out that engine. Now, pick up the phone and talk to your captain. There you go, awesome, okay? Tell him you're in trouble, he needs to come quick. Okay, great job. Now that is how we call that a physical effect. So go ahead and give Perry a big round of applause. He did a great job. Okay, for this next scene, we just need you to sit there and act dry. We're going to insert that shot into our next scene, and then you'll see how it all comes together in our final sequence. Our next setup takes place on the deck of our PT boat, so let's go ahead and meet the rest of our brave crew right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for Captain Mo and her brave crew, Jack and Steve. Cast ascending crew is standing by.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, places everyone. Can we get a playback? Okay, crew, you're on a surveillance mission. And action. Okay, you hear a plane approaching, so you look around. Captain, find that plane. There's an enemy fighter at tip-off. Okay, crew, you're surprised. You're stunned, but most of all, you're in trouble because here he comes again for another run. Captain, spin that wheel and get that boat out of there. Oh no, it's too late. He just shot out your engine. Pick up the phone and call your mechanic. Hey, deck crew, point to the water over here. What's that in the water? Okay, you think it's all over, so you start to relax. But just then, you hear another plane approaching. You look up, point to the sky. Bombers at 12 o'clock. Bombs away, everybody hit the deck. Congratulations, you have survived the aerial attack. But now 2 more torpedoes are coming in fast off the stern. They pass underneath your boat. Point to the audience and tell them to look out. And cut. Great job. Go ahead and give a nice round of applause for our captain and her very brave crew. Now we're like when we add computer-generated images, a few pre-recorded lines of dialogue, and a rousing musical score. So please turn your attention to your overhead monitor as we present Harbor Attack.
And you are? I want some Larry.
He may be on a quest for gold.
To make people sing a little distance.
But he better watch out for silver.
This isn't over yet.
Sometimes, courage can be the greatest treasure of all.
Watch me.
Treasure Planet.
In the flesh. First in organs or anything down that will splash.
As you're around the first turn, take a look on your left and up toward the front of the hill. High in the sky, past your...
The second half of the Disney-MGM Studios Backlot Tour. I'd like to go ahead and start out with a little sound check to make sure everyone can hear me back there. So if everyone can hear me, just do me a favor, give me a big wave. So I see lots of hands. Great, looks like everyone can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me, then you can hear my words of warning. You see, we do have a bit of water that is involved in our attraction. If you are sitting on my side of the shuttle, which is your right-hand side, right over here, be advised, you guys have a chance of getting just a little bit wet today. It's no big deal, just a little bit wet. However, before you change your seats, if you are sitting on the left-hand side, be advised you might be getting a lot wet. Most of the water comes from the left-hand side. There's only so much water that people on the left can block before it gets to people on the right. So we do ask you to please remain seated throughout the entire tour. That means don't stand up. Remain seated. And also, we ask you to hold on to your loose articles. Hold on to your sunglasses and your hats. Make sure you don't drop anything overboard. And if you drop anything overboard, we cannot stop the shuttle to go and get it. So if you do drop something, just let us know at the end of the tour, and we'll go back and get whatever is left of it for you. And we also ask that there be no smoking, but I'll tell you what you can do. So once again, everyone, welcome aboard to the second half of the Disney-MGM Studios Backlot Tour. My name is Bill, and behind me in the driver's seat we have Brian. Brian says hi. Together we're going to take you on our journey through the backlot. And what better way to begin our tour than with one of the symbols of the studios. That's our award-winning Uribl Tower. If you look high in the sky towards the front left-hand side of our shuttle, you'll be able to see the Uribl Tower as it does stand a lucky 13 stories tall. That water tower was based on a design that Walt Disney had back in his studios in 1939 in Burbank, California. Except our water tower is a little bit different because it is topped off with a set of Mickey Mouse ears. Each one of those ears weighing in at 5,000 pounds apiece. We do get a lot of questions about whether we are a real working studio or not. Well, in fact, we are much more than a theme park. We are fully equipped with everything that you might need to make a television show, a movie, a commercial, or a live radio show. Currently, we do have a team working on some special effects on our backlot, and if we get a chance, we may be able to bring you onto that live set. We'll find out about that a little bit later on in the tour. On your right-hand side, we have the first two of many props on our tour. These two airplanes from the movie Pearl Harbor. They are P-40 airplanes. They're exact scale replicas of the real thing. However, our P-40s are made out of fiberglass, and they have a steel interior frame, which means they were never really meant to fly. 16 planes were made for the movie Pearl Harbor, but most of the planes you saw on screen were all CGI. That's a computer-generated image. As we finish our U-turn off to your right, you'll get your last photo opportunity of the Uribl Tower before we head indoors. Inside this tunnel is the glamorous world of creative costuming. Inside costuming, it all starts with the designer's sketch. And if you look to your left, you'll see many of the sketches along the back wall. Also coming up on your left-hand side, we have some famous costumes from movies such as Sweet Home Alabama, The Rookie, Signs, Tuck Everlasting, and The Santa Claus 2. We have a team of over 250 talented seamstresses, tailors, and milliners that work with 1.5 million yards of fabric a year. That gives them the chance to make up to 25,000 costumes, and it helps make us the world's largest working wardrobe. As we pull further into our tunnel, the next few rooms off to your right-hand side are where we do our large-scale painting and any of our blacklight paintings, such as the props that are found on the rock and roller coaster. The last room coming up on your left-hand side is our main scenic shop. Inside our scenic shop is where we build and maintain many of the different set pieces used on our sound stages, as well as on our backlot, and even some of our theme park attractions. One of the nice things about being on a backlot is that we can control our own environment. If you look towards the front left-hand side of our shuttle, under the large green tent, that is our underwater special effects tank. It runs 16 feet deep, and the bottom of it is sculpted to look like the ocean floor. That way our actors can appear to be in the ocean when they're really in a nice, safe, and controlled environment. We're now headed towards an area known as Residential Street, and if you look off to your right, at the right side of this house, you can see right through this house and out the other side. That's because it's not really a house. It's what's known as a facade, or a false front, meaning that there are no insides and no backs to any of these homes. The second house on the right was used in the movie Ernest Saves Christmas. And this happens to be special because this was the first movie that was filmed here. That was back in 1988. Each of our 8 homes has been used in either a television show, movie, or commercial. But our most famous house is coming up on your left. This beige Hawaiian-style home was the home to 4 lovely ladies, the Golden Girls. The outside of this house was filmed here and then edited together with footage shot of the girls out in California. Next door, this blue and white house was the home to Alice from the Adventures in Wonderland. And across the street, this beige 2-story was the television home to the sitcom Empty Nest. And by now, I'm sure you've noticed some of our holiday lights. We do have about 5 million holiday lights to notice. This is for our annual tradition here at the studios called the Osborne Family Spectacle of Lights. If you come back later this evening to our New York City street set, which is right in front of the shuttle, you'll see blue barricades. Come up to those blue barricades anytime after 6 o'clock till about 7:30, and you'll actually get a chance to walk down Residential Street and see all these lights for yourself. As we turn the corner, we're going to head even deeper into our backlot towards an area of the park known as the Boneyard. And the Boneyard is where we store large movie props from recent pictures. All large studios have boneyards, and on your right, you may recognize some of our larger props. The 3 totem heads are from the 13th Warrior, and the spaceship is from My Favorite Martian. The Desert Skiff is from Return of the Jedi, and the Snowspeeder from The Empire Strikes Back. The miniature cattle car from Mighty Joe Young, and we have several vehicles from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Look closely at the metal tread on this tank, and you'll see it's really just foam rubber. That saved a lot of wear and tear on our actors thrown upon there. The yellow forklift is from Bicentennial Man, and the next 5 vehicles are all from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's the infamous Dipmobile that tried to destroy Toontown. And our trolley car is really just a modified city bus. If anyone's been over to Epcot this week, you may recognize our yellow helicopter. It's from Ellen's Energy Adventure inside the Universe of Energy. The blue helicopter from Blue Thunder. We have 2 small airplanes from The Rocketeer, 2 spaceships from Starship Troopers, and the large silver spaceship at the end is from Flight of the Navigator. A live set. It is very important to please remain seated. And once again, hold on to your loose articles. We will be going over a very bumpy bridge. This particular set, this was modeled after a real canyon in Southern California. And it took our construction crew about 6 months just to build this one set. Well, we're going to pull in here and stop for a few minutes. That way you can take some pictures. And I'll tell you a little bit more about our set in just a minute. Left-hand side of that large, flammable truck. That was it, but what we had to do is lift that truck up with a large crane over the canyon wall. With the help of our special effects crew, we can even control the weather. And this is our Hollywood rain. Now, this is done by using a series of spray mounts that are up on top of the canyon wall just at a camera range. They spray the water outward in crisscross pattern, and that makes the rain look very realistic on film. Okay, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more than that rain effect, so please speed it. We're going to get here in just a minute. Hold on. As we pull behind the canyon, if you look to your left, you can see it's really just a steel structure. It's covered in a wire mesh with a layer of colored concrete. The small yellow pipes running through the canyon were used to carry the gas for the fires and explosions. And the large gray pipes were used to carry the water for all the flash floods. Those floods all started when 3 tanks up on top of the canyon wall opened up, releasing about 70,000 gallons of water towards our show. Everything that you saw here inside Catastrophe Canyon could be completely reset and recycled in 3.5 minutes, which during the next 3.5 minutes, which is usually just enough time for our next shuttle load of guests. So they should be here any second. Now, we're going to head from the canyons of California back to the streets of New York. We should be there in just a second. But first, I want you to look over to your right-hand side. Just past the bushes on your right, you'll see Walt Disney's personal airplane. That's called the 234 Mickey Mouse. That is not a prop, but that's actually the real airplane. They retired that from California a couple of years ago and brought it out to us so we could have it here on our tour.
Wave. What was this? Take it away?
As you turn the corner, if you look up to your right-hand side again, take a good look at the second building coming up on your right. This building is also a facade, or a false front. All the bricks that you see are mostly made of fiberglass styrofoam and wood. Tap on the building, it will actually sound hollow. Also on your right-hand side is the Washington Square Arch, and as we pass by the arch, look through it. In the distance, you'll see the Empire State Building. The real Empire State Building stands over 100 stories tall. Ours just stands a bit over 4 stories tall, and that's done by using an old camera technique that's called a forced perspective. Well, we are coming to the end of our tour, so please remain seated until we come to a complete stop.